Welcome to Master the Game. I am Juice, and today in our 30-day world building challenge, we're going to cover a few days in one. We're going to talk about food, which is for day 8. We're going to talk about farmed animals for day 9, and we're going to talk about natural predators for day 10. So let's get started. So with my world, there's a lot of moving parts, and I mostly try to tie the real world to my fantasy world so that I feel like I can understand it a bit more. Now, this applies to food and farmed animals especially. You know, your typical food you would eat in the real world, you would probably eat in my fantasy world. Eggs, beef, burgers, things like that. You might have some more exotic things, but again, we have exotic things in our world, such as like lizard eggs and stuff like that, that you can eat. You can eat bugs. Even fantasy creatures in the fantasy world, maybe you eat like the eggs of basilisks or cockatrices or whatever. And then for farmed animals, you're going to have the same kind of thing. You're probably going to be farming mostly normal animals. Occasionally there might be an exotic farm where maybe they raise cockatrice or something else. Maybe there's a dragon farm where they're trying to domesticate them so you can ride them later on, or boulets or things like that. So again, that's kind of my deal there. Natural predators will basically be the same kind of thing. You're going to have real world natural predators in my fantasy setting that are not the top of the food chain though. You're going to have your typical fantasy monsters. Again, I'm making this for a tabletop RPG. So I need to incorporate all sorts of things from a variety of games. I'm going to have things like dragons that come down and eat mammoths and stuff like that. I might have things like a purple worm that comes up and eats, a house, whatever. But I like having these things. I like having a 3-headed, chimera that's going to come up and eat stuff or whatever. Or a manticore be a natural predator of a certain area, or a large bird the size of an ancient dragon that is also a predator that eats things, or a kraken. All this stuff is in my world in different places, and typically the bigger the creature, the more area it takes up, so there's not a lot of civilizations around that. And so there's legends that abound about these creatures too. So I have Medusas and hags, all these things. And I will lump those into the natural predator category because they need to eat too. And so, yeah, so a Medusa is probably going to take over a large area as well, where you're not just going to have, cities like sitting right there, because that would be too dangerous. The biggest ones, the biggest natural predator I have is up north in where it's icelands. We have these bug creatures, like a whole colony underneath the ice that the further you go down, that's where the queen is. The queen obviously is laying eggs constantly. The other like bugs are bringing food back to her. They're feeding the colony. And these bug creatures are just up in this northern icy area. They eat things like polar bears and other creatures like that are mammals. They also eat fish and things like that come towards the land and things like that. So again, these bug creatures can like swim through water and stuff. They don't do it very often. They don't do it for a long period of time. But those are probably the nastiest predator I have, especially since when you start going up against more than a few, they can overpower you pretty quickly. They're strong, they're large, they bite hard. They also have other effects. I think I put it in as acid, is the type of damage they do. But yeah, those are probably the most wicked natural predator I have in my world. And yeah, so I'm gonna flesh them out a little bit more too, thanks to this video. But yeah, would love to hear about the natural predators in your world. What do you put a lot of thought into how that impacts the area? What do you do with that? Would love to hear your thoughts below. If this is your first time here, give us a subscribe. If you like this video or the other videos we've done, give us a like, and we'll see you guys next time. This was Master the Game. I am Juice. Game on.